Because it's her birthday?
Did she just buy it?
It's her birthday?
Did she just buy it, though?
Wait,
I'm sure he bought it before the 780 came out. Plus, it's still reasonably priced compared to
No,
the
the 770 is less than the 680, and it's better.
Who bought a whatsy who's it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Cecilia, I need that! Cecilia, we're about to do the trap shit! I need the black Red Bull ASAP! I can't do the trap shit without the Red Bull! Cecilia, quickly! We're about to drop it! It's gonna drop so hard! Do you understand me? For the fucking brick! God damn it! Yes, Cecilia, pour it!
Wow.
How'd she do?
I apologize for that.
Are you over a day? Are you partying at Dave's Bernina, dude?
Yeah, Mindy had an unfortunate accident, and we have a replacement waitress at the club here, and Christ, she does not know what she's doing. It's pretty clear. So, sorry, that was why I was late. The whole time I was trying to show her how to pour the goddamn drink. I'm training all these waitresses. Obviously, it has its own benefits on the side, but Christ, right now it's a real pain. So
Yeah, it sounds like it.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Can you elaborate on Mindy's accident at all? Was it?
No, I can't speak to that. Yeah, I may have been moderately involved, but the police are still sorting all out, and I have a good lawyer, so we're
Oh, good. I'm glad
we're
to hear
working
it.
on it. We're working on it.
Glad to hear it.
All right. Let's see. Have we tweeted yet, or are we still collecting?
I'm waiting for Brandon.
Oh.
I just tweeted, so go ahead and retweet.
Oh, the
Yeah,
product
RTs.
Did you already get Twitter questions?
Yes.
I should
I saw some
probably
good
open
ones.
this
And
up.
there's a definite GIF at the bottom. I don't know who put that there, but I'm pretty happy about it.
You're welcome.
Let's see.
Fucking Joe Pesci.
Oh, it's Joe Pesci. I'm excited now.
Alright, let's get those retweets in. Gatman put it in chat there. 264 is the goal.
There you go.
27
usual.
now. Pretty petty. Need more than that. Petty was not the word I was looking for, but I'm gonna have I ever said it. Oh, there's. Wow. It's definitely a Nick Fenton special, isn't it? Yes.
Scott, I hear that you're dangerous.
I am. Yeah, I'm a monster. If you follow my Twitter feed from last night, we had a power outage and I killed Nick, and things got.
I'll tell
That
you
power
about
outage could not have happened at a better time.
Yeah, I know.
I'll tell you about my evening last night, but not till we get started.
Is that some kind of twisted teaser for this podcast, or?
It was about
what's
the
that?
least fun evening ever.
Oh, least fun. All right.
Yeah,
Well, then actually, that no, I'm very intrigued. All right. I always like hearing about other people's misery. It's weird. Why do we like that so much?
We do. We love it.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
We love it.
All right, we got. Let's see.
52.
Jesus Christ, you people are fucking pathetic.
Whoa, you
Retweets.
people. Please
Yeah,
do
I
not.
said it. I said it.
Heyo.
I'm lawyered up right now, so I feel like I can say anything I want because of the whole Mindy situation.
Yeah.
I'd like to apologize in advance to Nick Fenton, APL, and Blacklight for all the hardware that's in this episode.
There is a lot. I literally
Yeah.
I
fuck
scrolled,
apologize
to
for
the
anything.
beginning of the article and I hit my head on my keyboard. I was so fast asleep.
I don't mind hearing about hardware, it's just I can't really talk about it. So that's
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just
I'm
saying.
the same.
It was
That'll
a
be
huge
fine.
week for it, though.
I am
Maybe
interested in
one day.
debating the whole merits of the new monitor that's coming out here.
Yes. Yeah, I thought you actually.
you know
knew
where
that.
I
Is it the Asus one? Oh yeah.
Well,
it
I
is.
know where you stand.
Yeah,
you stand
where I stand.
squarely in the 1440 by 900 camp.
That's exactly right.
Not even 1600 by 900. 1440.
No. Yeah, I mean,
Scott's monitor, the 1440 will be the lower part of mine. I will have a 1440p monitor soon. Scott will be at 900p still.
it's just one of those things that, like, when they got it so right with 1440 by 900, there was no reason to advance the technology any further, and right now it's just frivolous kind of stuff. It's unfortunate that we have to go there, but
The human eye can't see over 480 pixels.
that's right. Oh,
my
man.
God.
All right, how we doing on the? Let's see. Refresh one more time. We got 57. Okay, I don't know what's happening tonight, people, but
There's really a fall off right after the first minute or so.
Yeah.
144p. Who was it? Oh, I think it was during one of my streams. Someone was in another stream and said this dude is streaming at 144p. It's like, what is he doing? Why is that a choice?
Well, sometimes you just gotta watch a Twitch stream on your TI-83 Plus.
No, right? Good
It's being
lord.
drawn in the graph section.
It's just 3 large pixels of varying colors.
Well, the even worse thing is when you go to like a Merlini stream and he streams at a higher resolution than my monitor is.
Yeah, he
so
streams at 1200, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
He's probably got a
1200.
1920 by 1200 monitor.
Yeah, he does.
Hexadecimal's chair has retweeted the stream.
yeah, you
That
know,
guy's a
guys,
fucking celebrity.
God damn that chair.
If the chair can retweet it, then 289 people in the stream can retweet
Yeah.
it.
God. There we go.
Ingrates.
68.
We have to at least hit 100 here. Like, that's at the least. Usually,
Nick Fenton just tweets, retweet this. Going right to the point.
oh man.
Don't retweet my tweet linking to the tweet to retweet. Retweet the tweet that is linked that you're supposed to retweet.
God damn it.
That's almost as good, I guess. At least
There's
that's
so much hewing going on right now. Jesus Christ.
Oh, cool. Now the fucking like 4 more people are okay, awesome.
He's deleting the tweet.
It has 10 retweets now. The
over
troll
this.
is strong.
Yeah, I was like, kind of like, man, I gotta do this podcast tonight, but I want to watch this game. And then the Blackhawks just like shit all over the King's chest, so I turned off the game. That shit is over before it.
God damn it.
21 retweets.
You're all assholes.
We should have just told people not to
Yeah.
retweet
I'm
All right,
it.
we have
Super-
90 right now. That's at least
I'm
a little more
super.
ballpark.
I might retweet it with the KBMOD account. I might.
Andy,
you
I'm
should,
posted
you
on
should
his
link
Google
to,
Plus.
You should link my
we're
tweet
good.
and say retweet this.
I think Google Plus has this weird vortex where if you post it on Google Plus, it's a guarantee that not only will it not succeed or do anything, you'll get negative views. Like I could post a video on YouTube and it would subtract views from my actual video.
Instead of getting a +1 on Google Plus, you get just a negative.
I'll never forget when we stopped posting on there because I looked at the traffic and we had like 82 hits for 1 month from Google Plus posts. It was like
not
several
happening.
thousand from Facebook and then 82 from Google Plus.
Yeah.
All right, well, so next
All right.
next tweet is probably going to get more than our own, which is great.
It's exciting.
All right, we're good.
Part
I
of
think
me is
we're
happy
good.
to see that they're more intent on trolling than they are in promoting the stream.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I'm kind
They're
of okay
they're
with
so
active. They're
dedicated.
participating within the community.
it. All right.
All right. Let's do
We're
it.
good.
We're good to go.
All right. Episode 95 we're on. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to the KBMOD podcast, episode 95 live. We're talking Haswell, I already fucked it up. The 770 and Blizzard's delay of their MMO, amongst other very exciting topics. We have the pretty much the old school crew here with the addition of Blacklight, who's becoming a regular as well,
Yeah,
which
fuck
is
you.
good. What? I didn't say anything negative there. I just said it's good.
Yeah,
I know you were
well,
expecting, but because I have.
I've been here like what, 2 years?
Yeah, I know, but
Not old
on the
school.
podcast. You've been on the podcast though for like 3 times consecutively now, or is it 4?
So, I don't think consecutively. I think I missed last week.
He did miss last week.
Well, then fuck you too. All right, so let's talk about what we've been up to this week playing gaming. I actually have literally. I'm going to go first. I have not played a game this entire week, and that kind of makes me. Actually, that's not true. I played a little bit in a gaming tournament at work. We played some Wii titles. I played FIFA 13. God, that game's fucking good. I love the FIFA.
Did you just say some Wii titles?
Yeah, we played Wii because it was like anyway, it's a new show we're working on, but it's like an office tournament, but it's random. You get a basket from what
random. Okay.
So
Those are fun. Those are fun.
Yeah. So I ended up there was some Mario Kart and stuff in there, but anyway, yeah. So I didn't do much, but let's start with Brandon over there, looking good. His mirror's looking a little bit dirty, if I can tell from the picture. Obviously, he has just used the chair.
You can only see the back of the mirror.
Well, I just have a feeling that
there's a reason you can't see the front.
Just tell me if my hunch is right. Is there a semen smiley face in the front of that mirror right now?
If there was, I would deny it.
Okay. What have you been up to, Mr. Brandon?
Not a whole lot. I've been playing more League ARAM and playing some Smite. That's really about it. It's been a pretty light week on gaming. I think I finished BioShock last week. I think we talked about that. It's been light on.
Speaking of BioShock, people have been clamoring for us to do like a cast some night, a spoiler cast some night, just talking about that.
Talking it? Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Do that.
So
we can do that
sometime.
Really? Because people usually every time we bring up BioShock, it's just all cap screams.
No, if we do it separately from.
Yeah.
If we name it a spoiler cast.
If you name it a spoiler cast and you come in there not expecting spoilers, I don't feel bad for you.
Then just end yourself.
Spoilers: you throw water on Elizabeth, and it turns out she's a Martian.
God,
and you hit her in the side of the head with a baseball bat.
I don't understand why
you're
doing
really
this.
M. Night Shyamalan and not
You catch, bitch.
It's actually just after Earth.
Swing away, Booker. Swing away. God, After Earth.
Booker DeWitt, played by Jaden Smith.
12%. We should talk about.
Oh my God, this.
That was me.
I'm so sorry, stream and podcast, for you not being able to see this, but God damn. Lil Tanner himself has made his way into the dock, into the podcast dock.
Lil Tinchy.
Lil Tinchy. I don't know. John has a link probably if you want one, but anyway, continue, Brandon.
Yes, but it's been light this week for Brandon. Is what we're.
Yeah, but I'm like League
Brandon's
ARAM.
been taking multiple trips to a certain house.
Oh really?
Pound house.
Are you talking about a brothel? Where are we going with this?
Are you talking about the
pump
boneyard?
house.
And there's a pump house
Yes.
in the middle of the boneyard. And you gotta travel. I got nothing.
You can't even get it. I think Brandon, I always thought, Brandon was taking the people to Bone Town. I didn't realize he actually goes somewhere for that.
Well, he drives through Pound Town on the way to the boneyard to take him to the pump house. That's
Got it.
Yeah, that's
It's a complicated set of directions to get to his actual destination.
You got to use the GPS. You'll get lost easily.
I bet you do. What do you use it? His Garmin or your phone or what's hot?
Depends on which destination you actually want to reach.
It's the Pornhub GPS. It's a new brand.
That's really dirty. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right. Well, move on to Nick Fenton, looking very slick with his new haircut over there. It is getting a little long. He needs a little trim. Rishi will trim it up eventually. But
do it real short, I think.
What's going on, Hitler? Or things?
Oh, those jokes.
Oh, they never get old.
I did it. I slicked it so I wouldn't get the joke.
Yeah, I know. No, it doesn't really look like Hitler. I think it looks nice. Go ahead. I'm actually being genuine, but no one thinks I am. So
I played Black Ops 2 Zombies because of the new map, and I don't like it at all. It's too complicated. They made it. They put too much stuff on it.
Cynical.
I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm biting my goddamn tongue. I'm gonna let it get through.
If you played that map, they don't explain like anything, and it's just like, here you have to find all of these parts, and apparently you have to like make a plane and like escape a prison. So it's like, okay, yeah.
I was totally kidding. I haven't played it. And it's probably shit.
Well, no.
I don't. I like the simple maps, like the original ones. Like the ones in World at War were good. Like they got a little complicated, but it wasn't overwhelming at all. It was still like the basics of Nazi zombies, like fighting and stuff.
I personally never liked zombies outside of World at War.
But I've just been playing War Delta 1 as a mod for Modern Warfare 2 because I'm a Call of Duty kid. It's like, oh my god, that game's 2 years old, so it's actually just a classic now, even though it's really not. But it's a lot better on PC. Like I've been noob tubed like twice so far. You like don't get any of that stuff, and I believe on 4 Delta 1 it's like pre-patch model 1887s, which is hilarious because you just akimbo those or you bling them, and they're just retarded.
I've had a lot of fun on it as well this week.
That sounds horrifying.
It's fun. It's
those were dark times.
Yeah, I think everybody's just gotten used to Modern Warfare 2 at this point. Like everybody's tolerance is like way up for that game. So
well, you had to play Modern Warfare 3 at some point. So I mean,
yeah. So you're accepting the backpedaling.
Yes.
And then
I'm glad
a little Smite
tolerant on Xbox Live. That's great.
I played some more Smite because the new God came out. Well, the new God came out while I was moving, I think.
Who was that? ISIS?
Yeah, she's fun to play.
She's pretty fun, yeah. She's got a lot of mobility, which is cool.
She's not overpowered, but I think she's really viable.
She's very strong. She has a ton of mobility. She actually has really good CC, and her damage isn't too bad either.
Yeah, her 1 and her 2, both of those can do a ridiculous amount of damage if you do magic power.
Yeah, she's definitely viable.
I think that's... Oh, and I played a little bit of Minecraft.
I was thinking about reinstalling that the other day.
I started a new survival, like single player, just random game today. I don't know why, but I did. So that's about it.
All right. Pretty varied on the gaming scale for Fenton this week. What about you, Mr. Blah?
Well, I'm playing TF2 right now. So that's my regular. I'm still shitty pubbing in TF2 because I'm garbage at this game.
John just smiles slightly.
Because he knows it's true. He watched me stream last night, and it was awful. I picked it up a little bit later on in the night, but I'm still pretty bad. I have been playing the Smite. Brandon and I got some ARAMs in, along with Biznich and Staffu Noob and Ferez.
That's good.
Yeah, we didn't perform very well. we had one.
Ferez was level 1.
Wait,
yeah, no,
you were doing
Ferez
ARAMs?
said he had played before, and he's level 1, and he leveled up to level 2 during our match.
What a goddamn disgrace to his entire family and his whole country.
It was true. He had played once before, but it was in private matches with us, so he didn't get any XP. That's how he was still level 1.
So you're playing ARAMs?
We were playing ARAMs, yeah.
Okay, I realized you were playing 5s, and for a second I thought maybe you're playing Conquest, and that would just been...
No, that would have been horrible.
That is hell on earth.
I personally love
playing Conquest. Then you get put up
Conquest.
against, like, Cursed Gaming, and then it's just not...
I love playing Conquest, don't get me wrong, but not with a level 1.
Yeah,
like, Perez is pretty good for having not really played much before, but he's still, he still needs to learn the game.
I wouldn't ever go into a Conquest with him.
He's better than Hex, but I mean, if you have fingers,
wait, wouldn't it be Hex to 10? Not 1 to Hex.
Unless we're rating how bad he is. I think Hex's chair is better than Hex at Smite.
Hex's chair is a hell of a streamer.
The only annoying thing is that we couldn't get a game. We sat through like 3 ARAM queues in Smite, and it never put us into a game. So
yeah, that was pretty bad.
That was pretty annoying.
That was pretty shit. Let's not have that happen. High res, Bart, fix your game. Jared, fix your fucking game. And I've also been playing 4 Delta 1. Renee and Nikon got me into that, and I've been playing it ever since. And it's kind of funny revisiting Modern Warfare 2. I know we already talked about it a bit, but it's funny to revisit it because as broken as that game was, in comparison to like more recent titles, it is so much more fun.
Yeah,
like,
the fun
scale. It's mindless fun.
Yeah. It really is. It really is. And like when you die to like some overpowered shit, I don't even get mad when somebody kills me with the Akimbos or like a noob tube. I'm just like, this game's retarded.
I think that's because we all went through original Modern Warfare 2. So
and we all went through Modern Warfare 3 and how it never was fun.
It was
at any point,
never fun. Yeah.
At any point in its entire run, it was never any fun. So at least this is fun, even if it's goofy, retarded, mindless fun, and that's fine.
Also, there's Ninja Pro.
There is Ninja Pro. I finally unlocked Ninja Pro. It took forever. And I do have to say, Dust and Elysian Tale, really fun, and I wish I had played it more this week. I only got to play about an hour.
Yeah,
but
I streamed. Let's talk about it real quick. I streamed it for an hour and a half. Fun as hell, dude. The combo system is so bad, but it's still really fun.
I do hear that the combo system pretty much gets fully revealed. Like, it doesn't really go anywhere after like the first hour, so it does kind of stagnate. But it's still a really interesting system, and I really do love like having what's her face, the little like pixie Fidget. Yeah, I love having Fidget like spit her jizz all over and then spin it around and it like multiplies and then just flies around and hooks in on dudes.
Streaming that game is that the furry jokes are off the charts.
Oh yeah,
that game.
I don't know if you've noticed this, Nick, but Dust definitely has a camel toe, so I want you to pay attention to that next time you play the game.
Yeah, you will not unsee it afterwards.
I pointed out in chat, and people were getting real mad.
Yeah,
I'll keep an eye out for it.
Dust definitely has a camel toe, and is a dude. So
yeah,
there you go.
Well,
isn't a moose knuckle? Is moose knuckle the correct term for that?
Moose knuckle.
Yeah, but it looks more like a camel toe.
Yeah,
well, maybe he has some secrets. I mean, anything goes with furries.
It is a fantastic looking game, and yes, I do believe one person made that game.
Yeah, the only thing
visually it looks incredible.
Yeah.
It's amazingly incredible. Very few people are so talented that they can make a game that controls as tight as Dust does and look as good and fluid as it does. It's not only that the art is good, it's also the animation is fucking like just really, really smooth.
Yeah, it's also a very good port. Very good port. No no issues. All resolutions are available. All that stuff.
And it controls great with both mouse and keyboard and a controller, whichever you want to do. I mean, it was obviously designed to be played with a controller, but
use a controller.
Oh yeah, I went with keyboard and mouse just because I didn't feel like finding my Xbox controller, but like really, like the keyboard and mouse works just fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, and that's pretty much all I played. Yep, is it.
What about the fat cock over there? You've been doing, John?
Other than a little TF2, not much, because I've been getting a computer working correctly.
Oh, your work computer?
No, my new computer.
Okay.
Built my new computer. I went with a G1 Assassin 2 motherboard. It's 16 gigs of Crucial Ballistic, and the top of my RAM sticks have LED lights that flicker, which is fucking baller.
Oh, shit.
That's how you know it's
in a Fractal R2. I have a 256 M4 and a 128 M4 SSD. I have a 2 terabyte. What the hell did I get, Brandon? Samsung or Seagate? Seagate Barracuda, because Seagate Barracuda, because the WD Blacks were out of 1 and 2 terabyte, and I didn't want to buy 4. I have a 3930K, a HX850, and 2 EVGA 680 signature editions.
Damn.
So why did you go 3930K?
Because Haswell Extreme will remain 2011,
okay, good.
While Haswell is going to be 1150, or is 1150. And I do plan on upgrading to Haswell Extreme when it comes out in a year, just because I'm a dick.
So the 2011 path. Okay.
Yes.
Not bad. So does this mean we'll get daily Modern Warfare 3 vids now? While at rendering power?
Now that you can actually run it in all its glory. Finally.
Yeah, I actually did render a video just to see how long it would take. I just rendered raw fraps, and it was faster than real time.
Oh my god.
I rendered a 12-minute video in 8 minutes, so that was cool. And right now it's running. With Skype and everything open on my computer, I'm at like 40 degrees per core, and I'm at 4.5 from 3.2.
Not bad.
So we'll see how it goes. But all in all, I like it. The only issue I'm having is that occasionally, whenever I enable SLI, I get a blue screen. I'm not really sure what's causing that, but it doesn't happen all the time. So
are you on the newest drivers for NVIDIA?
Yeah. I am.
The new ones, because they always put that shit out, but not bad.
Yeah, I'll figure it. I don't need 2 680s. They're in my. As long as I can see them in my case, it's fine.
One's just for show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understandable. All right. Well, what about you, Daniel? What you been up to?
I beat Metro Last Light on Tuesday.
Yes.
on stream.
Now that you've beaten it real quick, what are your
All right.
thoughts? You beat Bioshock as well,
Yes,
right?
I played them both simultaneously, as we said last week, which was a very cool experience. I don't know if I'll ever have that experience again with two games that are meant to be that story-driven.
Right.
And be able to play them at once. But here's what I would say. If I was rating them out of 10, okay, they would both be Game of the Year candidates for me.
Nice. Okay.
Bioshock gets a 9.5. This gets like a 9.0. Last Light is like a 9.0. It's really good. The only problems is there's two endings. And I got the bad ending. Not that it's like bad, but I got I ended up not saving a guy that I should have saved. But there's also a lot more that goes into it in getting... The story is not nearly as complex as Bioshock. There's no kind of crazy, zany twist or anything like that. But it's still a really good story. And I think the game is as well put together as Bioshock as far as the world. I think the worlds are equal. They are the atmosphere in both they are just as good as each other, which is amazing for 4A to have done.
Yeah, especially after we talked about all the shit that kind of went down with trying to get that thing shipped and
and
produced in that studio.
THQ going into business and so I mean it was an amazing game to play through at the same time. I would say even it was more tense of a game than Bioshock was. At least for me, mainly because the combat's really, really good in Last Light, and I didn't feel that way about Bioshock.
It was better than it was in the original Bioshock, though.
Yeah,
I don't know if you played the original Bioshock.
Combat is
it was
serviceable, I would say.
Yes.
I've heard the combat in Bioshock 1 is kind of blah, and then Bioshock 2 it's actually good, but the story is worse. That's what I've heard from people.
Honestly, I think the combat
in
1 is really fun and varied. I think Infinite was a little bit more streamlined, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just kind of it leaves less variety. I think the combat in Bioshock 1 wasn't quite as tight as in Infinite or 2. Although I'm sorry, I haven't played 2. Wasn't
I think
as
2.
tight,
I think
but
2 has the best out of all three of them. Combat-wise, it's obviously the weakest in terms of story.
But having played 2033 as well, there was such a massive step up from 2033, which has worse combat than all those games.
I feel like 2033 was an experiment for them.
Yeah. They did just
and it ended up being like a cult classic.
Yeah,
I need to play 2033.
Well, they were doing cool things in that game, like the bullets being currency and stuff like that. But
and the atmosphere is, I think, almost as good. But I think Last Light is just, it is up there on Bioshock's level for sure. On Infinite's
nice. Yeah, I gotta fucking play it.
I would
shit
say.
My pants.
I mean, I would say play it. I played it on the normal difficulty, which wasn't, or no, I played it on easy, which actually I think was too easy. But the problem with that game is that I guess the harder it goes, the easier it is, I've heard, because people take less bullets to kill, so you need to find less bullets, if that makes any sense. So it's like you can die faster, but you can also avoid getting hit in that game very easily. The stealth is really well done, almost to the point of not being well done, if that makes sense, because it's so well done that you can just, like, as long as you're not in light, you can just sneak up on people. You can stand right next to them, and they won't see you, which is kind of crappy. But compared to the first game, where you literally had no idea when someone was going to detect you at all in the first game. So, yeah, I mean, it was an experience to play them both at once. And then, later on in the week, I already talked about Dust and Legion Tale. That's quite a good game. And then I also played The Swapper, which was a game we first saw at PAX East. And it's done by a 3-man team, Facepalm Studios, which is a great great name.
It's a great name.
But the guy who did the story in that game also did the story in FTL and the Penumbra games, which were the lead-up to the Amnesia games. It is an amazing game. The Swapper deserves all the reviews it's getting right now. Destructoid gave it a 10 out of 10. IGN gave it a 9.
You can actually listen to what Destructoid says too, which is nice.
Yeah, IGN gave it a 9.3.
I like Destructoid.
I have not beaten the game yet because it's really goddamn hard. and it makes me feel stupid a lot. The basic mechanic of Swapper is that you can make up to four clones of yourself, and they mimic your movement exactly. But then the rooms also have different colored lights in them that prevent you from either swapping with your clone or creating a clone in that light. So it's all about like pressing buttons in rooms to solve puzzles and putting your clones in the right spot. It can be rage-inducing. Someone in chat just said that. It can definitely be rage-inducing. And the whole game is claymation and was done with clay, which is very cool. But the atmosphere in that game, you're like 2D puzzle game. How can there be that much atmosphere? But they really do pull it off. It's a pretty amazing achievement overall. And it's like $11 right now. So I would highly, highly recommend getting it. But I'm not going to stream any more of it because it's just too, like, the puzzles are too hard. Like, it's just too hard.
You feel like a retard?
Well, it's that, but it's also, like, you don't want to be sitting there for, 20 minutes looking at
I would
the
never,
room,
ever stream a puzzle game.
It's very
ever.
difficult.
Well, you'll start looking to the chat, and they'll probably ruin the puzzles for you, so...
There's no winning.
What the fuck? What are you doing? Just spammed. It's like, I've watched it, It's bad enough in an FPS when you can't figure out where to go for like a second.
If we learned anything from streaming Portal Co-op, it's that you're never going to come out ahead.
Oh, no.
To be fair, we were on zero sleep, so that factored into
You could be speedrunning that game and people would still get mad. You could be like the best speedrunner in the world and be like, what is he doing?
A speedrun of Swapper would be a fantastic thing to watch. But everything in it is like totally based in the story of the space station that you're on and stuff. It's pretty cool. There's zero gravity environments in it, which is a whole other ball game. But it is amazing. It is amazing to look at. So I don't know. I just highly recommend that game. I'm guessing it is selling really well due to all the reviews.
Yeah.
But if you waited till a summer sale, it's probably gonna be like $7 if you don't want to pay $11. So like,
you cheap bastards.
Those are coming up.
But support those guys because they're good dudes too. They talked to us. They were super excited to talk to anybody too, which is crazy. And they were even like,
I love indie devs, man.
Yeah, they were getting their pizza from PAX because I guess PAX had like ordered pizza for devs. They hadn't eaten in like 12 hours. They were just at their booth, and they still talked to us, and they were still like really nice to us. But that game I thought was going to be amazing from what I played at PAX, and it followed it up pretty well. I'm pretty excited. So that is forgot to tell you about my night last night.
Yeah, so what happened last night?
So I went to, I don't know if anyone else has ever had this experience, but my wife
You went to Applebee's, didn't you?
No, I didn't go to Applebee's. Oh. That would have been preferable to this. Let's put it this way.
Got yourself some poppers?
I was at
some jalapenos.
I was at a wedding.
Yeah. Oh god. It's already bad.
Where I knew my wife, who was in the wedding party, and one of her friends, who was also one of my ex-girlfriends from high school. And that was it. Those the only two people that I knew at the wedding.
Oh, boy.
And I knew the bride from high school, but not very well, like at all. And I hadn't really talked to her in years. So go to this wedding, and this is the even weirder part, right? So we get there, and I'm like looking around in the church because I'm like, I'm gonna see some people from high school. Maybe I can chat with them during this. No, literally all family.
God.
And her husband wasn't from around our area at all. So I'm at the reception, and it's game one of the Penguins last night too. So I'm like, motherfucker, I gotta be at this stupid thing all night. So I duck out like when the first period of the Penguins game starts, and I get in my car and I'm listening to it on the radio in the car.
Oh shit!
Listening to it on the radio. And
Dedication,
my wife,
man.
And at the end of the first period. Well, it was better than sitting in there, dude. Let me tell you that. There was no DJ either, all right? It was like... Yeah, there was a live bluegrass band at this reception.
No.
I was going to say, you don't know people. That's your opportunity to get on the dance floor and just go crazy and embarrass yourself. But
no, dude, yeah, I couldn't even have a million drinks and dance like a retard. Yeah, it was terrible.
The worst.
So my wife comes out, like, when the first period's ending, she's like, I just found out we have to stay to like help out with cleanup at the end.
Oh no!
Wow.
And I was like,
What a fucking wedding.
She's like, there's only like 20 people left. They'll file out soon. Like half the people left within like 40 minutes of this. Like,
It
right
was
after
so
dinner.
lame.
Yeah, it was so lame.
40 minutes?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So like,
Lord.
so it's like, so this is like 9 o'clock Eastern when she comes out and says this. I'm like, all right, well I'll just stick out here then and listen to the second period. 2 hours later. 2 hours. I'm asleep in the car.
Good Lord.
My wife comes out and she's like, all right, we can leave. And I was just like, I just want to run this car into the reception hall. That's all I want to do right now.
Kill the bluegrass band.
Like, I had to listen to this whole game on the radio. Fucking, I could have been doing anything else in the world but that. It was the worst. Bros, if you have to go to a wedding with your significant other and you know you're not going to know anybody, get out of that situation. Don't fucking
I'd love to hear how, like, did that even, was that discussed, you not going at all? And was that shot down?
Because I was like, oh, it'll be cool to see Steph and maybe some people I haven't seen in a while. Like, and nope, it was not fucking cool. There was nobody there. It was terrible. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, get the
Weddings
fuck
in
out.
general are pretty horrid affairs unless they're like directly your family or like a really good friend. But every
If
other
there's
wedding
an
I
open bar,
go to
you
a
can
wedding, the
turn
better
any
time you'll
wedding.
have.
That's a good point.
Open
yeah,
bar
open
can
bar.
turn
That's a
any
good point.
wedding into a good time.
A really, really bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so that was my whole fucking day yesterday with that. So
Yeah.
it was a good time. So with that, we're gonna go into commercial for a couple minutes. Here.
So take those pearls of wisdom and write them down. This
Don't
commercial
fucking
break.
go.
Don't go to weddings ever.
They're horrible.
So we'll be back in 2 minutes, bros, with some news. God, dude, I'm like having flashbacks. It's like Nam up in here.
Yeah, open
wedding
bar
was
is
like-
pretty key.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, there was no open bar?
yeah, there was an open bar, but it was like,
Well, but you have to combine that with like decent music.
dude, all right.
Bluegrass?
Dancing and
It was there was no DJ. Had there been a DJ, like all bets were off. Had there been a DJ,
Right. You could
'Cause
have
then
gotten
you just
sick-
request like fucking Lil Jon or something, and you're just like, I'm gonna dance like an idiot now. This is gonna be great.
Just grab a drink and start punching chests.
Yeah, dude.
You just
Start doing it.
If there's a DJ, you request regulators and you have a good time.
Yeah, that's right. And
I
it's
usually
like,
request Dota by bass on it. I got that to be played at a high school dance once. It was
that's
amazing.
Amazing.
Wow.
Well, like, but when my brother-in-law got married, my other brother-in-law and I didn't know. They didn't tell anyone that the bar went like cash bar at a certain time.
Oh,
So we
God.
went up to get new drinks, and we were smashed. Like, and we are not having this policy. Like, this is not happening.
You're not
dude.
having it.
And
You were belligerent, in other
yeah.
words.
Yeah, and we were like,
Ignorant.
wow. And the bartender was like 75, and we were like, I cannot fucking believe this shit. And like, and we just went and found, so there were waiters with wine that were going around, and they had little stations where they set their trays down. We just fucking took 2 bottles of wine. Just like, fuck it. Just opened them up. We're just drinking them in the middle of the thing. Fuck this. Yeah, go to that new, Chez is in the chat. Wow, that's fantastic. That's awesome.
she hasn't been raped and killed by a hobo yet.
If anyone
Yeah,
has been
so
following Finding Chez, or hasn't been following Finding Chez, you should, because there's some amazing posts in there already.
Hell
now
yeah.
that he's like in the middle of, completely out in the middle of nowhere, kind of away from anyone he knows, it's going well. So, is Dan an alcoholic? Thank you, Slammed Hearts. Thank you.
That's what everyone got out of this, is that Dan's
Jesus.
a belligerent alcoholic when he goes to weddings
Yup,
that he can drink at.
That's basically what we got out of this. Was like, had there been booze, Dan's problems would have gone away. That's
I mean that's one way
except
to put
there
it.
was booze.
Yeah.
There was a bluegrass band, so Dan's problems stayed.
Like live bands are cool, but not bluegrass. Don't
You know
do
what
that.
You know who was in this band? 3 of my old high school teachers too.
Oh,
so I couldn't
wow.
even take
Yeah.
this shit seriously. I was like, oh my god, dude.
Ches
Alright.
with some famous last words in chat. I'm with strangers. I love it. And then we're never going to hear from him again tomorrow. But it's all good.
Ches is disconnected.
Ches is disconnected, yeah. We lost him somewhere in Florida. He's gone.
So, all right, now it's time for Scott, Nick, and Nick to have nothing to say for a little bit. But we're going to talk some hardware because it was a big week.
I'll
week of
interject with a
launches.
cough or two here and there, so
Big
you'll know
week
I'm
of
here.
launches. Haswell launched the new Intel architecture, coming after Ivy Bridge, which came out around this time last year, I think, something like that. But basically, it's just a little bit better than Ivy Bridge. That's like the basic gist of it. And a slightly new chipset, Z87 says Z77. But if you
And a
have
different socket, as we discussed before.
yeah, as John discussed earlier. But as far as performance, if you're wondering about upgrading to this, if you have Sandy Bridge, it'll be a decent improvement, but you still might want to hold out. It's not really.
What's the
I think
price? What's the price of this?
Similar to the Ivy was
They're-
when it launched.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they'll
like
they'll
almost
roughly
exactly.
take the place of the Ivy Bridge parts eventually, and they'll just fall into the same price bracket that Ivy Bridge is in now.
Yeah, so 4770K is $349, whereas the 3770K
It's about
Is
$249. right?
$329. I'm just looking on Newegg, really quickly. So it's $20 difference.
You said it's 4670K?
The 4770K is $349 on Newegg,
Yeah, yeah.
and the 3770K is $329. So
Yeah.
it's $20 difference.
I think there's a little bit bigger gulf between the 3570K and the 4670K,
Yeah.
but they'll eventually fall. Like the price will fall right after launch, probably
Yeah.
down to where Ivy Bridge
And
parts are now.
If you're by Micro Center, they're on one of those insano deals right now for Hasbro.
Micro Center is crazy.
It's like $200 for the.
It's $200 for a
4670K
4670K.
equivalent. Yeah. But basically, the basic gist, if you're wondering about upgrading, is Sandy Bridge. It might be worth it to you. Ivy Bridge, don't bother. It's barely an improvement over Ivy Bridge. Less power, better, more integrated graphics focus as they've been doing.
Yeah, I mean the biggest difference that I saw from like Anantech's review is the idle power, which a lot of people aren't going to care about at all, but the idle power is a lot lower, and it seems like the overall power usage is going to be better, which is kind of the point. Like that's they're going really hard for Haswell with like mobile stuff, so they're trying to make the graphics better. They're trying to do more aggressive power management. So it can still, when you're at load, it can still use as much power as like an Ivy Bridge part can, but at idle, it's a lot bigger difference. I think it's like half the power idling that the Ivy Bridge parts were. So that doesn't really matter that much, especially to
Not
to
for gaming.
gamers. But yeah, Sandy Bridge improvement is like right under 20%.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I want to upgrade. What I would say to someone is if there's someone you know that might be interested in buying a computer and you can like sell your current parts for a reasonable amount, then it's worth upgrading. So like if I had someone I knew that was looking for 2600K and like I could off that for a reasonable price, then I would upgrade. But otherwise, like Sandy Bridge, I don't even think is really even worth upgrading.
Yeah.
Unless you have a low-end Sandy Bridge processor. But if you have a 2500K or 2600K or 2700K, those are still fantastic parts. And the thing is that makes them better than they seem, even being 2 generations old, is that Sandy Bridge overclocks like crazy.
Yeah.
And
John had
these
his running at
parts,
some ungodly amount for a while.
yeah, these parts just don't, like Ivy Bridge, and it sounds like now Haswell. I mean, they're gonna overclock pretty well, but not.
It's not the
On the
focus.
whole, not as well as Sandy Bridge. So you can stretch a Sandy Bridge processor further than you can Ivy Bridge or Haswell.
So it's been a pretty.
If you hate money, upgrade.
Yeah, basically. or if you're not an overclocker.
Or if you have a computer older than Sandy Bridge, this is a great time to upgrade.
Yeah.
Because like the prices on
that.
these, I think probably in a month or two you'll probably see the prices come down a little bit, because right now, just looking at like some of the new motherboards and stuff, the processors are a little more expensive compared to Ivy Bridge, but the motherboards seem to be, at least right now, a little bit more expensive. Like there's not, I think the lowest end Ivy Bridge motherboard we found was like $80 or $90. The lowest like decent Haswell motherboard looks to be like 110 to 120. So you're gonna pay launch prices if you want to buy right now. But in a month or two, I think it'll be a no-brainer to get Haswell over anything else.
To put a little capper on this part of this hardware section, it'll be interesting, especially for Brandon and I doing build guides once the lower end Haswell stuff gets fleshed out, to see whether or not we even use a GPU at all in the $500 build at that point, or whether we just go with a Haswell chip and that's it. So that'll be interesting. That won't be for a few months, though. I don't believe that their real good graphics stuff is coming to the lower end chips. So, but it'll be interesting if we see that happen. But also, moving on to some GPU stuff, NVIDIA launched the 770. We talked about 780 last week. I am going to get one of these. This is the card I'm going to get within the next month or two here. It's basically a 7970 gigahertz edition for like $50 less. Sometimes a lot.
Yeah, and it's pretty much on the NVIDIA side. It's pretty much replacing the 680, because the 780 is like a step above in terms of performance and price than the 680 was. Yeah. Whereas the 770 is coming in at $400 and has like roughly the same performance as a 680. So you're basically just getting a 680 performance for $400.
And they're around $400.
It's slightly more power. It requires slightly more power than a 680 does. That's the only downside. And it's only like 35 or 40 watts more.
Yeah. And it's the MSI Lightning edition of this, which has some insane clock on it, is like $420. So I think that's the one I'm going to end up getting. I would say get it instead of the 7970, especially if you render. If you make videos, definitely get the NVIDIA part. But I think like the drivers that are still. But
yeah, no, I agree with that. I think the real difference between the two cards is really just the game bundle. Like the AMD game bundle is still better than what NVIDIA offers. So that to a person could be worth a lot if you really want the games that are included.
For sure to get a gigahertz.
Yeah. Yeah, it could. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I'm in the same boat as you, Dan. I still don't fully trust AMD's drivers.
If you want an SLI, you'd rather SLI than you would Crossfire. So
I would say just don't. There becomes less and less need to SLI as you go forward. I mean, like I don't really think anyone should be buying a card with the explicit intention of SLIing, unless you're talking about like a couple years down the line.
Chez, don't SLI. Went through a lot of issues.
Yeah, it's more trouble than it's worth for a lot of people. And the thing is, now you can use it to get more out of an older PC, especially like people right now that have 560 Ti's. If you want to throw another 560 Ti that you pick up from a friend, that's a great way to get a lot more mileage out of an older build. But these days, you shouldn't be building with the intention of like SLI.
Yeah.
Because you could always get a higher end single card, and you are going to be better off.
And another thing, little note about NVIDIA cards, 600 series and up. So if you have a 600 series as well, they have, I don't know if it's live yet, but they are putting in a built-in recording system for recording gameplay on their cards called Shadow Play. And you have to have a 600 series or up. It uses the same tech that the Shield uses to stream, but it basically records the stream instead of sending it to the Shield. That's how it works.
I think this will be a really cool feature probably in like 6 months, because I'm sure that it probably doesn't work nearly as well as stuff like DX3 and Fraps do. Like, I'm sure it probably doesn't have the option. I haven't looked at it yet, so disclaimer there. But I'm just guessing that, like, right out of the gate, this isn't going to replace people's gameplay recording. But it's clearly no one is going to be better suited for capturing gameplay with, like, no performance hit than the video card manufacturer itself.
So, and another little piece of GPU news, if you are still wanting to sit on this to see what the next Radeon cards are, because the drivers have gotten exponentially better, especially since January when they fixed all their frame lag stuff, the 8000 series launching in the fall. So if you really want to wait, and I think if you're on a 500 series or a 7000 series AMD card, you could probably wait until you see that 8000 series to make a decision. But that's.
I would, if only because it'll put price pressure on Nvidia. So if you can stand to wait until the 8000 series is out, you're gonna get. It's always like this. There's never a right or wrong time to buy because there's always something new around the corner.
Yeah.
But it's like Nvidia's right now is going to be getting away with higher prices than they should be because they don't have a whole lot of competition on the high end. So if you're more price conscious, wait for AMD to drop their new stuff. And then you'll benefit from the competition.
So what are you going to use these shiny new graphics cards to power? Not your stupid, silly 1080p monitors. Not
or
even
God
your
forbid, your
1440 by
900p
900 monitor, as Scott's case.
God, I know. I thought I was on the cutting edge. This is bullshit.
So this is what Scott's going to upgrade to.
Yeah.
Asus is releasing a 4K monitor. It'll be the first one on the market. For those of you who want to know what the resolution of this screen is going to be, yeah, you like that segue there? The 4K monitor is coming out in June. 31.5 inch monitor with a 3840 by 2160 resolution. So
it's like four 1080p monitors sitting side by side.
Yes.
I
So
don't.
there you go. It will probably be in the upper thousands of dollars. I don't know, because I know 4K TVs are like 10 or 15 grand right now or something like that. But you can buy them. But literally nothing is going to be in 4K till like 2016. Like
I can't explain how pointless this monitor is.
I want to know if
it's-
anyone that follows us or we remotely know buys one of these. That would
come
be
on,
interesting.
somebody.
No, if you buy
completely
one of
loaded
these,
do
don't
this.
follow us because you were dumb.
I'm gonna buy one.
I'm buying a
Oh,
2560 by 1440p monitor, and like I already know that half my games don't even support that resolution. So it's like, but I want it because it'll be really nice. But like this is on another level of that. There will also be a 39-inch model. In case you just want to stare at a few pixels on your screen when it's 2
Well,
feet
like
away
that
from
makes
your
more
face.
sense. It makes more sense. I mean, 4K is like kind of dumb to begin with because nothing is going to support it for a while. But it makes more sense on larger TVs where you can actually walk right up to the screen. You would never want to watch it like this because it's extremely uncomfortable. But you could walk right up to the screen and you can discern all of the pixels. But at a normal viewing distance for like a 30-inch monitor, that's just, there's so much waste there. You're never going to be able to discern pixels. It's just ridiculous.
The current OSs, and this goes for Mac and also PC, don't actually support like the pixel density to like look really good and use this yet. Windows 8.1 will, which is coming out in December roughly, and the new OS 10 update will also support it. But I really love the tagline here on the Verge article: "Perfect for professionals, gamers, and people with too much money," because that's exactly what it is. This is the
You can
first
just take
one
gamers out of it. Professionals, maybe there is a use case in some professional aspect. This is just for people that want to say they have a 4K monitor.
Yep, that's what it is.
Honestly, like I think unless you're going after one of the Korean monitors, or something like that, I really think the sweet spot is still getting a good 1080p monitor. If you want to spend more money, if you have more money to spend, yeah, you can get a good 120 hertz monitor or something. But I think 1080p is the sweet spot because I can almost guarantee you that's what like games and applications are coding towards.
Yeah.
That's going to be the most used resolution going forward.
So, also both the new consoles support 4K because there's a real use for it right now. But anyway, that is it for the hardware. We'll let you know how that monitor is when Scott gets it shipped in.
Yeah, it's currently, I pre-ordered it, so it should be here soon.
So, moving on to some actual gaming news. But there are lots of new parts coming. Also, real quick, the NVIDIA 760 Ti and stuff, that hasn't been revealed yet. I'm sure we'll see it soon. I know a lot of people like that price point usually, so we'll see how that is when it comes out. Probably around $300 or something, but that's not out quite yet. So this was kind of out of nowhere, especially because a couple months ago, Blizzard, we had a little leak of Titan information. I think it was about a month ago. It might have been even longer than that. But we talked about it here on this podcast. And actually this link, I'm sorry for this link, because it was actually confirmed that this was not a rumor after this post came out. But Blizzard has basically scrapped Titan, their next-gen MMO. And they're starting over. The team had about 100 people on it. And they've reassigned 70 of them, and the team is down to 30 people. Why, really? They said it's just wasn't up to polish, was the words they're using, but you gotta think it had something to do, at least my theory is that the engine was started in 2009 for this thing to be built, and it's 2013. The engine would already be 4 years old. You don't want the game to look antiquated when it comes out.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe Destiny, that's my other theory, is that Destiny, is that the Bungie one? That MMO,
Yeah.
I think that puts some pressure on them to really put out something amazing, even though it's the same company technically, is it not? Activision, I think, is
Activision Blizzard
for Bungie.
Yeah.
But I really think those two factors are what factored in, and now I have no friggin' idea what BlizzCon is going to be. I'm hoping it's a D3 expansion because I will buy that, but I hope it's a D3 expansion. Otherwise, what do they have to report on, really? No, they're not going to do a whole BlizzCon on one new WoW expansion.
They'll probably patch their card game.
See, I didn't realize that they actually canned the whole Titan project in general. I thought they were just reworking.
It's basically canned. Pushing it. Yeah. It's pushing it until 2016, which. Yeah. Basically means it's canned. You have 3 full years. That's a long time. That's enough to pick up the scraps of what they had done and completely start with a new concept.
Yeah, I guess I would be less surprised if they. I'm not surprised by delays from Blizzard. Let's be real. Diablo 3 for 10 years.
It's a good thing for Blizzard, though.
Yeah, totally. So but if they had been okay, it's just not up to par, but we're not going to be able to get Titan out till 2016, it'd be okay. All right, so they're going to spend a lot more time on it and polish it. But where it's we're basically starting over with this.
Well, to answer someone in chat saying 2016 wasn't actually said by Blizzard, the original release date was 2015 for this. That was on earnings. So that was on earnings meetings. So yeah, 2016 is relevant here, I think, for the release of that. I think you got to think if they're going to do this on all 3 platforms, which just seems like a Blizzard thing to do, to be really, really ambitious with this. There's new architecture now. So if that engine, once again, was being made in 2009, you can now do a lot more with a PS4 and an Xbox One than you could before. So we'll see what they do with this. I was so excited, though, to have this either playable or gameplay footage at BlizzCon this year. And now I just don't... They canceled BlizzCon last year because they had too much going on, they said. So...
Well, it's funny, you see the same... It's the same thing that happened with id and Doom 4.
Yeah.
It's you have a project where you clearly have a lot of people in-house working on it, but over time, I don't know, the market changes, and you've been working on it so long that you eventually have to take a step back and be this is not good anymore. So it's kind of a good thing, but kind of a bad thing, because I'm with you. I was looking forward to something to replace WoW as kind of the hallmark Blizzard MMO, but it seems like that's a long way off. And I think it's probably I think it's probably at least in part due to what you said, like the new consoles coming out. They don't know what these systems are going to be like for, like, how do the new consoles support free-to-play. Like, those are systems that you can't really have built yet because you don't know exactly how they're going to work cross-platform. And I think you're right. They probably want it to be cross-platform, and, you know, that's not it's not really possible for them to have all that information yet. So you kind of have to keep pushing it out and go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, and as a little sub-article I put on this, Take-Two's chairman came out and said that MMOs in the U.S. is just not a thing. And I don't know if you guys know this, but MMOs in Korea and Japan are massive. Massive.
League multiplayer online?
Yeah. Nexon games and... you know, they're massive over there. But he said basically they don't work in the U.S. And actually, when he says this one quote, I didn't ever even thought about it this way before. How many MMOs have been successful in the U.S.? 2. World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
kind of a bad
I saw that
slugging
headline
percentage.
and I was like, "What, really?" And then I read it and I was like,
Kind of true,
right.
really.
It is
Right.
totally true.
Oh, Eve is still
I think
playing
free
on
to
that.
play
Doesn't count
MMOs
that.
won't work though.
Eve's really
And
big
Eve's
everywhere,
very
though.
successful.
Not really.
But when he says 10 to 20 MMOs that make money in Asia or China at any given time, like,
Yeah.
why would you ever fuck with the U.S. market when it comes to that?
Well, it was like that Age of
Like-
Wushu, which
Yeah.
you've probably seen ads for. That game is like... They had like $1 million PvP tournament like a little bit ago in Japan. And like
crazy.
it just now came to the US. But all those games are free to play for the most part. The subscription model isn't really there for them. But I mean, he's kind of right. It is a dangerous market to get into though, because there's no game that costs you more money. No game type that costs you more money than an MMO.
It's such a big gamble,
Yeah.
and even for someone like Blizzard who has the cash to make an MMO work and just push it through with their kind of resources, this shows that even for someone in Blizzard's position, like, you can't. It's such a big gamble that you can't push out a product that you don't have faith in anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, moving on to some one of the worst
What a surprise that
pre-orders
this
we'd
is.
ever seen, and lo and behold,
Yeah.
didn't have a good day. Marvel Heroes, which comes out June 4th, for everyone. It's free to play action RPG, and we went over their little pre-order packs a few weeks ago with their $200 Founders Pack that got you early access to the game. And those who tried to access after paying their $200 found that game wasn't really playable. So it's been like, it was like 3 days or something that it was offline. But David Brevik, going hard, we will not leave the studio till you can play the game. We hope this will be in a matter of hours.
I did enjoy. There is a certain. I did kind of like seeing quotes like that where like the team is not leaving the studio until the game is playable, just like locked in. Like we have to fucking make this work.
He did make Diablo 2, so he's a good dude.
Right.
But I mean, shame on you if you spent this kind. It kind of serves you right if you spent $200 to pre-order this game. But
Yeah. Fuck you. I'm kind of glad if
You don't
anyone
even
in
get
chat
all the
spent
heroes.
$200. Yeah. I know. God.
it is the League model for those who don't know this game. The League of Legends model. You have to buy characters to play them. So Wolverine will cost you $5 or something.
Yeah.
But so yeah. So moving on to the new releases this week. June 3rd, the Scrolls beta, the new Mojang game, coming out.
Okay.
You can pay $20 to get into the open beta, just like Minecraft.
Is it on Java?
I think it is.
Awesome.
So exactly like Minecraft, pay $20 or whatever, you can get into the. It's a card game. For those who don't know, June 4th, Remember Me comes out. We will be live streaming that on Tuesday. I'm very excited to play it for you
I hope
guys.
that game is good.
Yeah, I hope it's good too. The world looks very pretty, so I hope it does come through. Looks like Devil May Cry combat, which I'm totally down with. So hopefully it's good. And Marvel Heroes comes out June 4th as well. We won't be live streaming that.
It comes out.
Yeah,
I have not heard a single good thing about that game.
it's fun to play. It actually is fun
Is
to
it?
play.
Well, that's the first I've heard.
The small parts of the gameplay that I've experienced were, it was, fun. It was kind of straightforward, but you also got other things in there with the microtransactions and.
I'm sure it's fun for people who love Marvel stuff, but
it's Diablo with Marvel.
It's like,
I mean, that's
it's like I think there are other games that do what it does better. But if you like the Marvel universe, you'll probably play that instead.
Yeah. So, and then June 7th, Planetary Annihilation Early Access begins on Steam. I know Hex backed this game, so hopefully we can get a little bit of footage on it. It's an RTS. It is, I don't know if a reboot's the right word for it, a long-awaited sequel, I guess. It was one of the games that got some of the giant Kickstarter wave of funding. It raised like $2.5 million.
Wait, is this the one that from Total Annihilation?
Yes.
No. Oh, fuck. Fuck me. Okay, yeah, I talked about that. Total Annihilation, I played the shit out of that game. That was one of my favorite RTSs of all time. It's really good.
Yeah,
the mech one.
Yeah, it's the mech one. Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm excited for that.
$2.5 million in, but this is the early access. I don't know. I know it's on Steam because when I looked this stuff up, I checked the upcoming. I don't exactly know how that works. If you had to back the Kickstarter, or if you can like just hop on. But this is like an alpha, so it's not. This is not the finished product, but you can access that on June 7th. So, pretty
Speaking
cool
of
to see.
Kickstarter, does anybody know when the Shadowrun game? No.
The Shadowrun game? I don't
I
know.
backed that one.
I don't know. I know Hex backed like a bunch of the bigger ones from last year, and they're starting to roll in. Like he played Grim Dawn 2 weeks ago, and then I'm sure he'll be playing Planetary if there's no NDA, which I kind of doubt there is, given that it's just out on Steam there. But we'll stream that if it's there. So it'll be interesting to see some of these big Kickstarters come in when they come in, to see, especially the Double Fine one. If that game sucks, it's going to be a really big blow for that whole system, because that raised so much money, and they're doing a second Kickstarter now.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So we'll see what happens with that. We're going to take a quick 2-minute commercial break, guys.
Well, and last thing really is Daisy Alpha, standalone alpha, is apparently on track for June. Like, it's already in closed alpha, and rumor is open alpha in June.
Did you have to buy that or anything?
It's not. Well, you can't buy it yet,
yeah.
but I think you will. But I don't know. Rocket said that open alpha in June, so let's hope that's true.
So, all right, guys, we're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with Twitter.
I'm just over Daisy.
I'm not. I've like the less I play it, I don't play it at all now. It's like
I haven't played it since.
The amount of pictures in here is huge now.
It's like
I'm ready to have it again in my life.
Hey guys, December 2012. That's when we're gonna release, guys. Oh, we're just getting into alpha in June. Okay.
I can only imagine the horrifying things in that Arma engine that you find when you're trying to rip it apart.
Yeah.
Probably.
That is one of the weirdest engines I've ever played.
So we got this beaver getting shot by Joe Pesci gif. We got Lil Tinchy on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We got some squid wrestling in a ring, and we got me as Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So we're going well in the dock.
The dock is just cruising.
Yeah.
Dock's the best part.
What a Photoshop Scorpion.
Were you in Fast and the Furious 6?
I was, yes. With
Loved you at that movie.
I am the Scorpion King. We got some alright questions tonight. I just can't stop looking at this Bieber gif though.
do you like Beaver, Dan?
Bieber.
Oh, Bieber. Never mind.
I like both. I like both
like
Bieber
both?
and Beaver. Yeah.
Okay.
At the same time, preferably.
Oh wow, that's kinky. I like it though.
One
Bieber. Bieber's Beaver.
Justin Bieber, please believer.
Rohan, where's your sub button, dude? Where's that?
Yeah, dude.
Come on, dude.
It's your problem, bro.
Dude. Don't talk shit about the Arma engine. It's one of the best ever created.
Sure.
If you play standalone Arma, it runs great. Rohan hates DayZ, by the way. Hates it. Thinks it's the worst thing ever to happen to Arma.
I'm ready to finally play, because by the time I actually got DayZ working, when everybody was really into it, everybody was done playing it.
I really enjoyed my time in that game.
Seemed
I'm ready
like
to
fun.
spend an entire weekend camping on a hill.
Alright, we are back with your Twitter questions. This first one's a doozy. I don't know what it means.
God, what the fuck?
At
Yeah.
UDP7 asks, thinks a girl likes me. What do I do? Thanks, Wody ET.
Phone home.
What?
I think a female ET likes him.
Oh.
He wants to know what to do.
Call her at home.
Yeah.
ET's all about that shit.
ETs are all about phoning. Home.
Thinks.
Wody extraterrestrial.
Oh man.
Wody ET. God, that's about the best. How is Twitter grammar so bad? You attempt to make it so bad. That's how it's so bad.
Yeah.
You've gotten
that's-
some doozy real ones though. I don't know if anyone remembers this joke, which got kind of old, so people stopped doing it. But the "How my cat 1850-950," because it was like a question about buying a graphics card or something.
Yeah.
But it was like "How my cat 1850 or 950," and like none of it.
Oh shit.
It made no goddamn sense. Oh God. What is this shit?
What? What is this?
Don't ban that person, but erase that link. That's fucking really fucking long and annoying. Anyway, moving on to Ronnie No Blink, who has a couple questions.
I feel like we've answered this question before many times, but maybe
Have
not.
we? It has been a while.
Yeah, because I know my answer right away, and I think it's the answer of most of us.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
everyone was. Yeah. If you had to marry one KBMOD crew member, which one would you choose?
Brandon. I mean, I think financial situation, stability as far as knowing what to do should I get pregnant. I feel like Brandon would stay calm in that situation.
Is that in your plans?
Well, totally. We're gonna have kids if I marry
Brandon
Brandon.
has a chair and a mirror
Obviously.
just for you, dude. That's true. That's another layer. He'd let you sit in that chair. He
I just
would.
feel like Brandon's just like the ultimate. He would be just a very comforting husband when I'm going through menopause. There's a lot of things that Brandon would be able to help with, so gotta go with him.
I always go with John because he looks really good, and I've already kissed him, so I know. What
Oh
that's
yeah, that's true. You
already.
guys do have a history.
And he
I'd go with John too. Even if that relationship didn't last very long, I'd still be like, I hit that / and or was hit by that.
You weren't hitting anything. You
You
were
would be
hitting.
receiving.
you were just being hit.
I dish it out and really take it.
I'll take it. I mean, whatever.
Jesus.
I'd have to.
I'll be
I'd
your
probably go
Rihanna.
with Sean.
Whatever.
I'd probably go with Sean myself. That's just
Sean
me.
is a good, yeah.
He's
It's a
smart
good
guy.
pick.
He can make
He's a smart guy.
beautiful music for you. He owns a hookah.
He owns a hookah. That's like
Oh,
one of the
That's-
number one
That's your
priorities.
fucking like some like
He owns a hookah.
like no one else can go out and buy a hookah.
Like, hey man, you want to come over and like hit the hookah? I got one sitting in my bedroom. Well, all right, let's do this. Whips out a ring, gets on
It's
one
like the
knee.
high school girl logic. I'm gonna date him because he has a car. But it's just a hookah.
I use him for his hookah.
You haven't seen this hookah, Fenton.
I think I have seen a picture.
I've
of
gotten so throwed with this hookah before that I'm like totally all about it.
I've been burned on a hookah marriage before.
I also got bronchitis from that hookah once, so there you go. The amount of hookahs.
I'd go with Sean. He's got a similar demeanor to myself. We'd get along fine. We'd sleep in separate beds. We would have like our own offices. We would just it'd be nice.
Bury yourself.
That'd be the most like clinical sex ever
damn.
done.
God.
Did you come? Okay, now it's my turn to come.
Oh, they wouldn't even like, no, it'd just be like, have you ejaculated?
Brandon would just bend over or like a robot. Like, all right, I'm ready. I'm loose enough. Put it in.
I too have ejaculated. Let us shake hands.
They shake
Great
hands and
sex
go to
tonight,
separate
John.
beds.
Would you like me to tighten the sheets around your legs so that you don't roll over the head tonight. Would you like to have foreplay now, Sean? Okay.
Commencing foreplay.
Commencing foreplay.
Please flick the left nipple first. Thank you.
God damn. All right, we gotta stop.
Okay. John's crying, and so am I. Actually, that was
smoking sex talk ever.
I didn't. Who added this? To
Great. Now I have like
question?
half a chub.
You have to keep going now. I'm Sorican asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your favorite color of the alphabet?
10 out of 10, light W.
It's a light W.
What's your favorite color of the alphabet?
I feel real bad for the rest of the Twitter questions because you're not going to top what just happened. But I'm going to go 5 yellow Q.
What? What? I don't understand. What are these? Okay. 5 yellow.
Wait,
I don't have an answer. That question's too dumb. And he spelled color with the non-American way, so he's clearly a UK commie, so I don't want to answer it.
UK commie.
Yep.
Fucking commies.
They're all over.
I included this question because it's been a while since I rehashed my worst experience with an alcohol. But
Oh my.
at Demented Rican asks, worst and or best experience while being intoxicated with an alcohol, which is the worst kind of intoxication, the single alcohol kind.
Yeah.
I would go with last summer camp I attended. God.
John thought he was going to be killed with bears. And
No,
bears.
The hangover the last day of
bears were
summer
going
camp.
to be thrown at him.
The hangover
picks
the
up a
last
bear
day
by
of
its
summer
back
camp
legs
was
and
the
just,
worst.
Yeah. You did get lost.
Everybody
in the
was
woods, though.
gone, and I slept at the cabin for another 3.5 hours in my car. Everybody was gone. There was not a person there. I was just like, Ron, dude, I'm going to sleep in my car for a while.
Yeah.
It was so hungover. That or ESEA land this year is pretty bad.
I projectile vomited on Audrey's really nice rug in Pittsburgh, and that
Yes, you
was pretty
did.
low moment.
And we cleaned it up with a pizza box, which is not the first time that has been attempted.
I remember too, like it was with fervor, man. That shit came out of me like fucking.
It was the best because your look
1,000.
before it was like, I'm having the best time fucking ever, and then you're like looking around for a little bit, and I was like, what's he doing? What's he doing? What's he doing? What's he doing? And then you're just like, blah! It was.
It had splashback. I vomited so hard it bounced. It shouldn't even work, but it bounced back off the rug into my face. It felt like it was so powerful. It came out of me.
You
like 100
flubber or what?
I don't know, man. And then I woke up in this random house on this air mattress.
Yeah,
in the middle
that
of
was
this
the best
empty
part.
room.
I fucking left Scott there.
You were just like,
I
I'm
was
leaving.
Like, this fucking guy. He's just gonna wake up.
Just left.
He woke up in like a rape dungeon.
Yeah, I was like, it was just this cold air mattress, no blankets, nothing, just like curled up in this ball in this like weird house. I was like, where am I?
So, Scott had many an alcohol that night.
We did like 10 Jameson shots prior to.
Solid. So. I shit myself in a bus stop and was woken up by the police. So I win. I win. That is the worst experience you can have with an alcohol.
I had a pretty good one. I was like 17 or 18. This was the first like actual like high school party I went to, and only actually. This kid had like a detached garage off his house that like the top of it was all like furnished and baller. It was fucking amazing. And we were young and just drinking whatever we could get our hands on at the time. So we were drinking some girly ass like strawberry vodka, some like Stoli strawberry vodka, which goes down like water.
Yeah.
And then afterwards playing just game after game after game of beer pong. I played and completed like 5 games of beer pong that I remember. And by the time I my memory blanked, I had won the like plastic beer pong champ wristband that had been making the circles around the party. When I woke up, I did not have it anymore, so I definitely played at least one more game. But I do remember taking a piss, being totally fine, then walking out of the bathroom and just vomiting all over the carpet. And this was a party where I knew like 3 people, and it was a pretty big party, so that wasn't a large percentage. So I felt really bad. Like, this kid had this really like nice ass like furnished area to just chill out. I just puked all over his rug. I felt really bad. And then I woke up spooning a fat chick.
Risks. Oh God! You woke up spooning a fat chick? This escalated
I think
quickly,
she was.
dude.
I think she was the one that nuzzled in on me because
Wait,
I don't even.
Wait, this is after the vomit or before the vomit?
After the vomit.
Oh God!
She used a blacklight as a blanket. She just threw Nick on her.
And like
she was the big spoon.
now, just saying, I don't sleep. I'm one of those. I don't sleep when I'm drunk, so I couldn't have been passed out for more than like 2 hours by the time I woke up again. So
Were you hard?
absolutely not. I was as flaccid as the day I was born, and it was not.
There's no shame in,
good.
there's no shame in that, man. If you were hard, that's fine, man. Everyone.
I was not, and you know what? She wasn't even like unattractive. She was just large, and there's nothing wrong with being large. You can still be attractive, but she wasn't my type, considering she was like bigger than me in every dimension. So
okay, bigger than me. Every dimension.
that was the worst. As for the best. Most recently, I can't really go into detail, but I was told, having never gone down on a girl before, I was told I am a pussy-eating champ.
Wow. Wait, what? This
is recent?
We can't.
This was
Wait,
recent.
this is the same night?
And I cannot go into detail.
Is it the same night?
Wait, I'm so confused.
I said I was like 17 or 18 during that first thing.
Oh, okay. I got you.
That wasn't recent.
Wait, how did we just segue into you being a pussy-eating champ? Was this? Oh, it's because you
that
were
was
drunk.
his best
That was his
experience,
best one.
yeah.
That was his
That
best.
was best.
best. I got
That was worst and then best.
Got it.
Well, actually, I'm gonna go with my shitting time was the best and worst. So I mean,
oh fuck.
As someone not of age, I don't have any.
Yeah. They'll have stories.
I'll just go with the best Nick Fenton
and
drinking
a foot and a half
experience right
from now.
now.
When I am of legal age, I may be able to tell a story, depending on if
Let me tell you a Nick Fenton
I'm
story.
mentally prepared for that point.
Oh god. I know what story it is.
But
Anyway.
Whatever story you have on me, Dan, Scott can top you. It's okay.
Don't worry.
I don't know where that's
I've
going.
never seen
By
a
a
more
lot.
emotional Nick Fenton. But anyway,
I'd like Scott to top me.
well, you're always on top though, John. We went
Yeah,
over
that
this.
won't work.
So.
I'll be your bottom now.
Scott could edge you a bunch, though. Sure,
Yeah.
he knows all about edging. Moving on. I did have to sit on a hazmat suit on the way home, though. By the way, little side note to that story. Yeah, the cops handed my buddy
They made
Nick
his
a
wife come pick him
hazmat
up.
suit. Yeah, a hazmat suit, and they were like, "You're gonna need this," and he's like, "Why?" He's like, "You'll know."
You'll know. You'll know when the time comes.
You'll know. At Ronnie Noblink making another appearance in these. Who would win in a fight between Orb, Credible Orb of course, wearing IKEA furniture armor, which is one of the best mental images I've ever had,
Photoshop lots.
and he's fighting a 7-foot-tall dildo which recently became sentient. So it is scared and confused, this dildo. It is scared and confused. It's easily rused.
recently became sentient.
7 feet tall
Yeah,
dildo. Yeah. How does it even
Oh,
move
man.
around?
Or
It's not a
How do
dildo.
you
That's
fight a
not a
dildo?
that's not a dildo. That's a pillar. That's an obelisk.
It's a monolith from.
It's just recently too, so you're right. It's very
This
confused.
is
It is
tribute to the
terrifying.
purple cock gods.
Does the dildo seek a mother? Says Chrisette. What am I? It can't even talk either. It has no mouth. So
What
what?
if it does have a mouth?
Oh god.
What if it communicates through telepathy?
Little spurts.
I mean,
Little
this thing,
farts.
this thing doesn't even have hands to like punch with,
Ah.
so it can really only like use its weight to bash Orb around.
But to me, there's no
And
way
if
Orb
it-
wins that fight. This thing is a fucking made of
Yeah,
rubber.
like
huge.
how do you?
But
I mean,
it has to
maybe-
put
maybe
its
if we
entire
gave-
weight. It has to put its entire weight into every strike that it makes. As long as he moves out of the way, it will fall over.
Yeah,
But he is being weighed
There's
down
a
by all
kid.
that IKEA furniture. He's not exactly as agile as normal, as he normally would be. He's bogged down by like piece by piece constructed desks. And
All I can
shelves.
think of is the episode of South Park where Mr. Slave takes Britney Spears in his ass hole And like
Yeah.
that, Joel would be Mr. Slave, and the 7 foot tall dildo would be Britney Spears in that situation.
Yeah, I love Orb, but I don't think he's beating the dildo.
Yeah, I think the dildo wins.
I think, I mean, no matter what, unless it's made of like glass or something, unless it's those glass dildos, if it's like metal or rubber, he's fucked.
The dildo is scared. It just wants to be loved. Misunderstanding.
It's like a Frankenstein's monster kind of thing.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
destroying things, but it doesn't know.
Right.
It doesn't know
It
how
just
to love.
misunderstood. It's misunderstood.
It can't
You
fit
don't
in any
know.
orifices that it needs to fit in. It's really upset. All right, this next question from @Jack Vandy. If the pizza man truly loves the babysitter, why does he keep slapping her rear?
I don't. Is this a reference to something?
Yeah,
I don't
we
get
don't-
it.
I don't
I
Pornography?
have no idea what
I mean,
this is.
I thought it was usually
42.
either dad fucks babysitter or resident fucks pizza delivery guy. I've never seen those two combined. I mean, I'm not exactly a porn connoisseur, so I don't know, but
You have failed at Twitter, sir. May God have mercy on your soul.
The super.
Oh, it's a porn joke, apparently.
Apparently. @Sage the Elephant asks, do you feel, considering most of you consider video games as art, I don't know where that came from, that video games need to be reviewed as a consumer product? I don't think reviews are necessary, but
No.
there also needs to be some sort of system to tell us if something is complete shit.
Yeah.
But
the thing is like when art in a traditional sense, say like in a museum or at a display, like some sort of exhibition, you pay like one fee and then you get to take in many pieces of art, and then it sort of becomes arbitrary to try to rate those on a scale. Video games you pay for individually, and if you don't end up enjoying them, you may have just blew $30-$60 on something that was a waste
Here's a
of
good
time.
example. If Aliens Colonial Marines had no reviews,
Yeah,
dear God.
a lot more people would have bought it because that's a huge franchise.
Yeah. And that game is garbo.
Yeah.
Except for that
So what
gift that came out of it. That was sweet. Go ahead.
So what's the so he's just saying like are reviews necessary? Is
Yeah.
Are
that-
reviews necessary
Basically the
because
question
video
is,
games
they are.
Yeah, I think so.
assuming
yeah.
video games
just
are
like whether or not we want to argue if video games are truly art. I mean, I think some are elevated to that status for sure. But movies are reviewed, TV shows are reviewed. I
Yeah.
mean,
Pretty much
You
everything.
just always have to take
everything.
a review with a grain of salt. Like,
Right.
You need to.
Exactly.
You need to form your own opinions on top of reading the review.
yeah.
But I think a review of if a game gets a 3 out of 100, it's pretty clear that it's shit.
It's probably
And your
gonna
own
be-
the way that you take that game is not going to matter. Like it's still
Right.
going to be shit no matter how you look at things.
Yeah, there's also the fact that it's just a guide. It's a starting point. I've absolutely loved games that got rated like a 6 or a 7, and I've hated games that were rated like 95 out of 100. So
Yeah, it's not always definitely. I find
Personal
like you're right.
taste.
If it's like a 2 or a 3, I'm generally probably going to agree it's probably shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I played games that like you said 5, 6, 7s that I'm fucking
that blew me
crazy
away.
about, and I'm like I don't understand. But
Yeah.
it's definitely subjective. You shouldn't like John said. You shouldn't base your entire. You have to form your own opinion. I do think sometimes people read reviews too quickly and then won't play games that are mediocre or they would enjoy when it is on the 5, 6, 7 scale. They're like, oh, that's not worth it if it's got a 6. And I'm like, oh,
you
Not
can have fun with a
necessarily.
mediocre game.
I think
Yeah,
a good
totally.
example of that would be Kingdoms of Amalur, which
Yeah.
got sort of middle of the road lukewarm reviews. But I know a lot of people that, well, not that many people bought it, but I know people have really
That
enjoyed
liked it,
playing that
though,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Man vs. Game has been addicted to that thing for the past like 3 or 4 weeks. But
I think the cool thing about video games when you're reviewing them is they have a lot of different aspects that something like maybe a book doesn't have. I mean, when if someone's reviewing a book, you're reviewing the content, but with a game you have all sorts of elements like the graphics, the story, the gameplay. There's a lot of different things. So like I don't know, reviews for video games I think take a different form than they might for, you know, movies or books. But it's like, whether they need to be reviewed or not, they will be, because people enjoy discussing, you know, their viewpoints on things, and it's like people want to have some direction when they don't have unlimited time to play every game out there. Just like you don't see every movie, right? If you have limited time, you want to see just the best stuff, the stuff that you're probably going to like the most, and so that reviews fill that, you know, that need.
Not to mention the money involved if you have limited funds.
Excellent point from Ryan1016.
Yeah.
When I first started playing PC games, demos and shareware were such a huge thing.
I miss that so much, dude. Demos were so big.
More games are coming out with demos, at least that I've seen. Especially smaller games are coming out with demos. It would be a really good thing, and I think demos, would stop a little bit of piracy. I mean, I can't say that from, like, I know for a fact from a study I did, but, like, just the fact that you would get to try it before you buy it would be very key, I think. And I think a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, I do know a few people who do pirate stuff, then if they like it, they will go drop the money. So
they need to just have time-locked demos. I feel like that's the best way to go about it. If you give someone 30 minutes or whatever to play a game, and they enjoy the game, by the end of that 30 minutes, a lot of people are gonna pick up their credit card and buy it right then, because they want to keep the game fresh in their mind and just keep on playing.
Yeah, and for instance, getting to play 20 minutes of the Swapper at PAX East, I was like, "Yep, sold. Gonna buy that." Like, that was essentially a demo of that game. So.
That's what these conventions are. You just go to play a bunch of demos.
Yep.
And you make half of your decisions on what you're going to purchase for the next year off of your experience there.
Yep. So
you find new products that have no marketing budget, so you're never going to know they exist, and then they're going to get your $20.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Last question. @_Saley asks, favorite family vacation as a kid.
Disney World.
I'm going to go probably with Disney World as well. I really enjoyed Disney World as a kid.
I'm going to go with North Carolina. I got to race the world's fastest go-karts with my brother when I was like 13 or so, and that was probably the funnest shit ever. Yeah. These are the 75 miles an hour?
Jesus.
Yeah.
So it's a car.
So it's a car.
It's a small Indy car.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. I actually went to Disney World twice. I went once when I was the age you were supposed to go to Disney World at, and then I went once in high school for a family Christmas thing we had at Disney World. It was the worst. Disney World is the worst when you're 17. It's the worst.
Yeah, I can. Oh.
Yeah, but
that age range is the worst to go to Disney World, because you're not young enough to really enjoy the younger stuff, and you're not old enough to enjoy the older stuff.
Yep. Yeah, and you're annoyed by lines at that point in your life too. Like, when you're little, it doesn't matter.
You didn't have Fast Pass when you went. They didn't have that installed yet. That's your problem. You got to get on that Fast Pass grind.
Like, when you're 21 and older, Epcot is incredible.
Yeah. There's beer gardens at Epcot.
Animal Kingdom is the best kingdom of all the parks. Well,
Wizarding World of Harry Potter
did not exist.
I never really went on vacations as a kid, so I don't really have anything real good.
Your whole life is a vacation.
Yeah, that's
right.
Like
Mongolia or whatever.
Yeah, I don't really have any fond memories of vacation. Probably jacking off during the summer, like when I first discovered masturbation.
That's not a vacation.
It's not really a vacation, but it was a vacation.
Mini vacation.
Every jack off was a mini vacation because I left planet
jack
Earth.
Off. Jack off is a noun.
Lift it off the ground.
I did.
Jack off number one.
Go buy some jack offs.
Dear diary, jack off number 1 today. Went well.
Man. Jeez.
Jack off number 2.
Vacation in every bathroom. Well. Yeah, everywhere I went. I left my mark, shall we say. So.
We called it conquistadoring in high school. You claim that shit as your own, dude.
I actually have a pretty good masturbation vacation story. It wasn't a good one, though. It wasn't a good one,
waking up next to a fat chick and then being told that you're pussy the best, or is this different one?
Those are both unrelated
I keep
to
trying
each other and to this story. Let's clarify that real quick.
This should all be one story, though. You should make it one giant story. But go ahead.
So yeah, let's just make no. This was when I was like 13, so this was like just discovering masturbation. And I mean, I don't know if you recall, because it's a long time ago for all of us except Fenton. But when you first discover masturbating, it's like it was so much better than it is now, because you weren't into it.
Yeah.
It was like sublime. So
Damn,
it was also
good.
incredibly addictive, and you couldn't like go a weekend without it, or a week, definitely not a week without it. So we were on our way to, I think it was Florida. I think we were going to Disneyland. Which the vacation was, it was okay. I've never really been one for vacations all that much, but I was good at theme parks. I hate roller coasters, so I'm afraid of heights, etc. But on the way down, we were driving, so we decided to do it over the course of 2 days. 3 kids in the family, whatever.
Masturbated over the course of 3 days, or the drive went over the course of 3 days?
2 days. 2 days. The drive was
okay.
over the course of 2 days. The masturbation was like seconds long. And we stopped in the motel for the night, or a hotel, or whatever it was, for the night. I get in the shower, and of course I'm alone in the shower. What the fuck am I going to do at 13 years old? So I start whacking it, and right as I'm finishing, of course it's so much better as a kid when you're first getting into it, and I just like shuddered for some reason, kind of like up the spine kind of thing. And whatever it was, I don't know if I was loose from up here, by the way, I don't know if I was like loose in the joints from like the water or whatever, but all of a sudden like my neck just goes totally stiff on the right side, and it's like shudder. I like shuddered, and then all of a sudden I was just like, oh shit. And I get out of the shower like this. My neck is in so much pain, and my head was cocked permanently to the side like this.
What?
My parents
is in your hand. Oh my god!
And I mean, obviously, I did. That was just a weird thing to happen as a result of masturbation. So I was able to
broke your body masturbating.
When I told my parents, I was like, I came out of the shower. They go,
he had a stroke.
Pretty much, yeah. I guess. And we ended up having to look up like a local chiropractor before we left. To like straighten out my neck, because it was literally like the worst my neck has ever been.
Oh my god!
I have no idea how it happened, but it was like a direct result of a post-masturbation shudder.
You had the best masturbation anyone's ever had, and you literally misaligned your spine.
Your neck.
I jacked off until my neck broke.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
I think I had an answer to this question, but after Scott and Nick's answers, I can no longer remember any of my family vacations.
Now all you can think about is childhood masturbation stories. I understand.
It's okay, dude.
Jesus. I don't know what to say.
I've never told anyone that story. I'd completely forgotten about it.
Nice.
329 people now.
I went to the UK in high school. That was cool as fuck.
We're actually doing answers again instead of talking about masturbation.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Nick. I mean, you can.
Yeah, mine was
masturbation.
Disney World.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I just feel like we're back on it's just awkward. It's like we just got done talking about Nick breaking his neck, jerking off, and you're like,
That's like the equivalent of that's the same kind of like when you put mice in like medical trials and they shock themselves over and over because it's like pleasure receptors feel good. It's like the human equivalent. You're like, yeah, I'll break my neck jerking off. It's whatever.
I hope you don't think that ever deterred me in the least.
No,
like even before we fixed my neck, I probably jerked off again.
while you're in the chiropractor's office, he's like, all right.
he's like, I can't work with this kid. He won't stop touching himself.
Oh shit.
Going to get arrested for some sort of pedophilia related something or other. Not okay with it.
Yeah, why is Ches not? Ches is admitting that he's whacked it on this trip so far, which is only natural. But I have not seen anything about that on the website in the blog post. So
Dude, it gets lonely in that.
Did you do it in that lovely couple's house that let you sleep in their guest room or whatever? While their cats were in your bedroom with you, or?
You gotta masturbate over the Grand Canyon and let the wind the semen may go. That's the way to live.
Plant your seed into history.
Scattering in the seeds.
Just whacked off in his tent.
If this tent's rocking.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, that's
Wow,
it
this really got
for
interesting.
episode 95 of the KBMOD podcast. I don't know what's happening with the podcast. Well, next week, when does E3 start? I don't know.
The 11th, I think.
Probably.
There's the press conferences on the 10th, and then there's the convention.
Oh, okay, so it won't be on a Sunday. Is what I'm saying.
No, it starts. Yeah,
Okay.
Tuesday,
Middle-
night's the first official
middle of the
day.
week.
We
Three.
should be good for the next 2 weeks, but we'll have a post E3 podcast. That'll be great because I think a lot of you are going, like 4 of you.
Yeah.
So Nick Fenton's going. Yeah. So 4 of you are going. So we'll talk some E3 in a couple weeks on this. But all right, guys, that is it for episode 95. Make sure to follow us here on Twitch. Twitch.tv/KBMOD. And if you really like what you saw, please subscribe. It really helps us out. And you can follow all our social media: Twitter @KBMOD Gaming, Facebook.com/KBMOD, and of course the website KBMOD.com. And
Give us those iTunes ratings.
yes, give us an iTunes rating if you sub.
Front page us on iTunes and make us famous.
So,
That's not how you get famous. Haters make us famous.
haters make us famous. And if you want a Nick Fenton shirt like I've been wearing on this lovely cast, but you can't see, so I'll just show it now for the VOD. It's a Nick Fenton shirt. KBMOD.com/merch. You've got it there. So we will see you guys tomorrow night on the stream. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow because there's a sports puck game, so we'll see what's up with that.
Sports ball.
But I don't think there will be a post show because I want to quickly go over stuff with Brandon. There might be. I will let you guys know. But as of right now, there is no post show. But thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you again with episode 96 next week.
Later.
Farewell.
Uh,